안녕하세요. 저는 태박이에요. 와요. 나는 와요. Hello YouTube. Today in this video, I will be discussing how I started learning Korean and what am I doing now to learn better, and well, what am I doing now to improve what I already know. And when I first started learning Korean, I started off with one of the kindergarten beginner books. So it teaches you the basic things that you need to know, just certain. What exactly did it teach? It taught past tense and certain words that you should know, but that book mainly focused on. It taught Hangul, and it mainly just talked about. It mainly talked about things like phrases, certain phrases. So it really didn't get too much into detail about how to actually learn Korean and whatnot. So when I finished that book, I still didn't really have a strong grasp of Korean. It's basically like I learned a few words, which I could have done anywhere else, just learn words or get an English-Korean dictionary. But after I finished that, I kind of didn't really. I was kind of stagnant for a little bit because I really didn't do anything. I was stagnant, and it's either stagnant or I lost information after that book because I really didn't do anything to kind of better my Korean at that time. But after a while, I started getting serious again, and I found myself when I would go somewhere or go on a date, I would be reading the signs around or ordering in Korean off the menus to help myself with my reading or my pronunciation. And now what I'm doing is focusing more on grammar and doing some vocabulary. And for my vocabulary, for the most part, I'm using memorize.com, and I'll leave it in the link if one of you guys want to see it. But Memorize basically shows. It helps you out with your vocabulary because it's kind of like flashcards, I guess you could say. It's kind of like a flashcard thing, but it's not flashcards. It shows you the word, and you read the word off of it, and then you have to it gives you multiple choice at first that you have to choose which word is the correct word, and then after a while you have to actually start typing the word in yourself and Hangul. So it makes it easier for you to remember the word and retain the knowledge. But another thing that I use is here's my grammar book that I'm using. A lot of people have probably seen this grammar book already. For Korean grammar for beginners. Well, Korean grammar in use, beginner level. And basically this book, if you go through it, it has anything you need to know about Korean basically. So pretty much after you finish this book, you're not gonna need the other books to be able to speak in Korean. So, but I'm probably still myself. I'm probably still gonna go and get the intermediate book and then go get the advanced book after I finish this. But these books are not easy to finish. So even though I'm studying an hour or two a day, I study an hour or two a day. On the weekends, I try to put more time in, but it's all about motivation. If I'm not motivated sometimes, then I'm not really gonna study as hard as I could. Because focus comes in. If you can't focus, you're just wasting time if you can't focus. So you have to find a routine that's good for you. I talked to my girlfriend's Korean, so me and her, when I'm texting, I try to text as much Korean as possible. And when we Skype, we have conversations sometimes, and I try to use my Korean knowledge, and I would speak in Korean and she speak back to me in Korean. And if I didn't know anything, I'd just be like, "뭐라고?" Like what you said, "뭐라고?" And that kind of helps you out a lot too. Instead of just learning the knowledge and then using it, trying to use it all at once to be able. It's better for you to use it as you learn it, because you start to get more comfortable with it and it's easier to speak it, instead of being like, say you learn a word and you really don't know the word too good yet, but you remember it's in your brain, but you never really used it before in conversation. So you'd be like, mo, la, go. But after you start like practicing it and actually using it, it's gonna come natural to you. So you'd be like, mo, la, go. Or that's like share my name, and I said enough times that it just comes naturally to me. And the same comes when you're reading. Try to read as much Korean as possible too, because when you start reading, because when you first start reading Hangul at first, you're going to be reading very, very slowly. I'm gonna read out the book, something out the book real quick. You're gonna be like, instead of saying 지금요 시에요, you're gonna be like 지금요 시에요. That's how you're gonna be. Even though you might know it, that's how you're gonna be though. You're gonna be reading it very slowly. And the thing about it, you just, after reading, you start to realize the patterns of the words, and it just comes naturally to you. And it's still a lot of words that still don't come naturally to me yet, and that's because I'm not reading as much as I should be, and that's my fault. But I know what I have to do to fix it, and that's another thing that I just need to work on. So the main things that I'm doing, I'm studying my grammar book, I'm learning my vocabulary. Those are the main things. But if you can help it, make sure that you use a native speaker to help you out. In my case, I have my girlfriend, and my girlfriend helps me out all the time with pronunciation of things and a better way to say it. Like I might say something and she'd be like, no, that's not how Koreans say it. Even though the way I said it, it makes sense, like you can understand it, but it's not the way Koreans would say it though. So you don't say it that way. Say it the way that Koreans would say it, so that they would know how to understand it. So, well, I rambled on long enough in this video. So until next time, guys, stay safe. Make sure you leave a thumbs up if you like the video, and if you don't like the video, you can give it a thumbs down. But I would prefer that thumbs up though. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.